Biotechnology Principles and Processes Part 3. In this video, you will be learning about the process of recombinant DNA technology. So, let us look into the process of recombinant DNA technology. The steps involved are isolation of genetic material, cutting of DNA at specific locations, amplification of gene of interest, insertion of rDNA into the host cell, obtaining foreign gene product, and downstream processing. Now, let us look into all these steps in brief in further slides. Isolation of a specific genetic material. The removal of plasmid or genomic DNA from the cells is termed isolation. Plasmid DNA may be removed only from certain bacteria or yeast cells, whereas genomic DNA may be isolated from many cells, both prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Isolation usually involves the breaking of the cell's membrane and possibly also a cell wall if it is a plant cell. DNA is obtained by treating the bacterial cells or plant or animal tissue with enzymes such as lysozyme if it's a bacteria, cellulase in case of plant cells, chitinase in case of fungus. The RNA can be removed by treating with ribonuclease, while proteins can be removed by treating it with protease. Other molecules are removed by suitable treatments. The purified DNA ultimately precipitates out after the addition of the chilled ethanol. So now let us look at separation and isolation of DNA fragments. The cutting of DNA by restriction endonucleases results in the fragments of DNA. These fragments can be separated by a technique known as gel electrophoresis. Since DNA fragments are negatively charged molecules, they can be separated by forcing them to move towards the anode under an electric field through a medium or a matrix. Nowadays, the most commonly used matrix is agarose, which is a natural polymer extracted from the seaweeds. The DNA fragments resolve according to their size through sieving effect provided by the agarose gel. The separated DNA fragments can be visualized only after staining the DNA with a compound known as ethidium bromide, followed by the exposure to UV radiation. You can see bright orange colored bands of DNA in ethidium bromide stain gel which is exposed to UV light. The separated bands of DNA are cut out from the agarose gel and extracted from the gel piece, and this step is known as the elution. The DNA fragments purified in this way are used in constructing recombinant DNA by joining them with cloning vectors. So, cutting of DNA at specific locations. DNA are purified from an organism can be prepared for cloning only after it has been cut into smaller molecules. Restriction endonucleases make possible the cleavage of DNA. Restriction enzyme digestions are achieved by incubating purified DNA molecules with the restriction enzyme at the optimal conditions for that specific enzyme. Agarose gel electrophoresis is employed to check the progression of restriction enzyme digestion, and the process is repeated with the vector DNA also. After having cut the source DNA as well as the vector DNA with specific restriction enzyme, the cutout gene of interest from the source DNA and the cut DNA with space are mixed and ligases is added. DNA ligase joins DNA to DNA, and this results in the preparation of recombinant DNA. Now the polymerase chain reaction is a repetitive bidirectional synthesis of DNA. In this reaction, multiple copies of the gene of interest is synthesized in vitro using two sets of primers and the enzyme DNA polymerase. The enzyme extends the primers using the nucleotides provided in the reaction and the genomic DNA as the template. As amplification proceeds, the DNA sequences between the primers double after each cycle. The process of replication of DNA is repeated many times. The segment of DNA can be amplified to approximately billion times. The amplified fragment can now be used to ligate with a vector for further cloning. The desired DNA sequence, once attached to a DNA vector, must be transferred to a suitable host. Transformation is defined as the introduction of foreign DNA into a recipient cell. Transformation of a cell with DNA from a virus is usually referred to as transfection. There are several methods of introducing the ligated DNA into the recipient cells. Escherichia coli is usually the host, and transformation of E. coli is an essential step in these experiments. Several methods are available for the transfer of DNA into the cells of higher eukaryotes. So the ultimate aim of recombinant DNA technology is to produce a desirable protein. Therefore, there is a need for the recombinant DNA to be expressed. The foreign gene gets expressed under appropriate conditions. The cultures may be used for extracting the desired protein and then purifying it by different separation techniques. The cells can also be multiplied in a continuous culture system wherein the medium is drained out from one side while fresh medium is added from the other to maintain the cells in their physiologically most active or log or exponential phase. This type of culturing method produces a larger biomass, leading to a higher yield of desired proteins. Small volume cultures cannot yield appreciable quantity of products. To produce in large quantities, the development of bioreactors is a must. So, bioreactors can be thought of as vessels in which raw materials are biologically converted into specific products. Individual enzymes using microbial, plant, animal, or human cells. A bioreactor provides the optimal conditions for achieving the desired product by providing optimum growth conditions in the form of temperature, pH, substrate, salts, vitamins, and oxygen, etc. A stirred tank reactor is usually cylindrical or with a curved base to facilitate the mixing of the reactor contents. The stirrer facilitates even mixing and oxygen availability throughout the bioreactor. Alternatively, the air can also be bubbled through the reactor. A bioreactor has an agitator system, an oxygen delivery system, and a foam control system, a temperature control system, pH control system, and sampling port so that small volumes of culture can be withdrawn periodically. So after completion of the biosynthetic stage, the product has to be subjected through a series of processes before it is ready for marketing as a finished product. The processes include separation and purification that are collectively referred to as downstream processing. The product has to be formulated with suitable preservatives. Such formulations has to undergo thorough clinical trials as in the case of drugs. There is a strict adherence to quality control testing for each product. The downstream processing and quality control testing can vary from product to product, and after all this process, the product is released commercially into the market.